is Corrupted. This is Corrupted Nation with Joe Cronin.
Welcome to Corrupted Nation. April Ryan, who is this sort of journalistic, I don't know, advocate, journalism, probably criminal, CNN worker slash activist, I guess, really. I don't quite understand the story 100% because this journalist was in there videotaping just about everything she did. So she was being videotaped by this journalist, and they threw him out violently. They had her security violently throw him out. And the reports are just so conflicting about, or not conflicting, but just something's not adding up. Apparently there was tons of other reporters in there reporting or videoing potentially, or taking pictures. You know, I don't know. But this guy was the only one that was thrown out. But I also think that this guy is a liberal. I thought he was a liberal leaning reporter. So I don't know if that's true, but either way, he was tossed out by security. They just grabbed his camera. And the weird thing is, the tip-off that happened as they either told her about the guy or got the okay to say, hey, there's someone filming you. You know, it's very weird, though, because I don't understand yet why they only threw this guy out and they didn't throw anybody else out. That's the thing that's, like, bewildering me. I don't really know why that is. And we'll take a look at it now if I can pull it up, because you can see from the vantage point of him and his camera that he'd been taping for a while at this point when he was grabbed or attacked or whatever you want to call it. Here it is. Here's where the security guard comes up to her.
To all of you parents.
It looks like Paul Pierce, kind of. Now she's like waiting here, probably for him to get rid of the guy. But again, I don't get it. If there was other people recording this, well, let's let it play.
What I will say, when I speak,
don't touch my camera, please.
When I speak, I do not have these covering my speech because
don't you dare put that down, sir. That's my camera.
I'm very I have a conversation with you all.
So now the guy runs away with the camera, runs out into the lobby, and then we get video footage from the hotel from that point, I believe. And they're very angry at this guy, so I'm really confused about what's going on. Like they're handling this guy like they knew about him and he wasn't supposed to get in there, but somehow he did. That's how I see it. Something is going on here. There's pieces of information we're missing here. Because he says there was other reporters there that weren't thrown out. Well, if they weren't thrown out, why isn't video surfaced of this then? And also, it appears that they were okay with him filming up until the part where she began speaking. And why weren't the other reporters thrown out? And if the other reporters were videoing, why hasn't any of their footage come out at all showing any of this? You know what I mean? So something doesn't add up here about something. And you know, were the reporters told they couldn't video her speech, that they could video everything but please don't video her speech, or what is the reason? I don't know. Here's some more of it.
Give me my camera. Give me my camera. Let go of my camera. Thank you. Don't touch me, please. Give me some space.
This is the hotel video.
Security, come over here. We need him out. We need him out.
I need this guy to get out right now. How dare you come in here and interrupt this event like this? No, you get out of here right now. What is out? Get out. Get this kid out of my event.
Don't you dare touch my camera. Don't you. This guy is chasing me. Get. Get off of me, you asshole! Get off!
Even the security is kind of reluctant to boot him out because they don't understand what's going on. You know?
Call the police! Yo, call the police! Call the police! Call the police! I was invited guest.
So he's saying I was an invited guest. You know, they're treating him almost like a troll reporter or somebody that they know to be some kind of troll or something. It's very strange. Now, he spoke about this on Fox News, of course, invited him over. I don't know if this... Again, I don't know. There's some kind of piece of information we're missing here. You know what I mean? There has to be. About why he was kicked out only, and not the other reporters, and no one else. And I don't yet know what that is. Here's some of his own words from the Fox News interview. And here's some of that.
For none other than American Urban Radio Networks and CNN's April Ryan, who ironically is known to be a champion for press freedom. Watch this.
Hello to all of you parents.
Oh, we saw this already.
Touch my camera, please.
We already saw this, but...
And so, Charlie, you went into this event where April Ryan was going to be speaking. You wanted to cover it from a straight news perspective. You got credentialed. No one ever told you, or it was never written anywhere, that there was no filming. And then what happened?
Yeah, I was there with my camera on a tripod, right next to another camera on a tripod. I enjoyed the evening for the first couple hours, and then this fellow came up to me and started, asking me who I was, where, why is your camera here? And I gave him my business card, explained, and he came back and told me, if I don't take that camera down, he'll take it down for me. One thing led to another. He grabbed the camera and hightailed it out of the room.
Were you the only one that was booted out, or were other people there left to film?
I was the only one, and I wasn't really booted. I voluntarily left because he stole my camera.
So other people were able to film and you weren't?
Precisely. There were other people taking videos, other people taking pictures, and...
Maybe they mistook you for me.
Yeah, it's something weird about this whole thing, and I don't quite understand what it is, because if there was other people videoing, then they were getting video as well. I don't know if this guy is... I don't get it. He's not... I don't think that this reporter is a known, like, right-wing guy either. He's not left-wing. I think he leans left, actually. So what would be the reason to kick this guy out? What were they told not to video her speech specifically, but everything else was okay? Was that something that went on? And then he was still filming maybe when other people weren't, and I have no idea. I'm so lost in watching all of this. Obviously, kicking it is I think this is a private function, right? That they invited the press to, or that they invited certain individuals to who asked for a press pass, and maybe they were given instructions, and maybe this guy didn't get the memo that, hey, please don't video. You can report on it and do anything, but we don't want video of her speech. Maybe that's what went on. I don't know. I'm very confused by this whole thing. I guess the only thing that we could argue about is the bodyguard, and how does this guy have some kind of complaint because the bodyguard took his camera and moved it to the other room and shoved him out of the building? Did he have a right to be there or not be there if he was invited? I'm just very confused by this whole thing. It doesn't seem right. Now, she goes on to explain to all the people as the guy's getting ejected that she doesn't want the press videoing anything of her speeches for a certain reason. So, she explained it to the people that what happened. So I think there's something that we're missing here in all of this. That potentially he broke a rule, or he circumvented their invite somehow, or maybe they didn't recognize him. I don't know if he got in there by accident. There's something going on that we're missing. He's not telling us, or he doesn't know, and she and her party is not telling us. Other than they're saying that they don't allow video, they don't want video. So they could have booted him for the video, which is what they're saying they booted him for, which I guess would make sense. But there's some piece of information missing as to why they had to aggressively remove this guy, kind of seemingly out of nowhere. Or is he an insider, like a guy inciting them and defying them after he was warned not to take the video? Is he lying? And who is the other woman who comes out screaming at him about something? That's bizarre too. Why was he sitting there for hours recording with no problem, and then all of a sudden, as he's ejected, somebody comes out to scream at him? Why is that lady so mad at him? Where did that lady come from? Why is she screaming at him? Something had to have been done, I would think. You know what I mean? Like, some piece of information is missing here. And I don't know if it helps the reporter, if it helps April Ryan, or who it helps. But we obviously know that we don't have the full information. So I can't say, wow, April Ryan, what a double standard. She's kicking the media out, and what a censoring, whatever the hell. She does seem a little bit biased, but I also don't know what to say. I can't tell you if this guy's not a liar or if he's a victim or what. He seems like a victim, but I feel like there's information we're missing. Nobody can make a direct assertion that either the journalist is a scumbag or that April is the scumbag, because, again, there's something missing here. And that's how I'm going to leave this. That, in my opinion, something in this story is missing, and I don't know what it is. And potentially we'll maybe find out. Her party has been silent on this whole thing, so we don't know what's going on. But one thing is for sure, she is an ugly motherfucker. Everybody, thanks for watching. And so isn't the journalist guy, actually, if you take a look at him a little bit. Looks kind of like Pee Wee Herman's uncle who touched him. So yeah, I mean, there you go, right there. Put them side by side. I mean, you know what? Let's just call this whole thing off and allow these two to make a goddamn mongoloid baby. How about that? Imagine these two fornicating and making a kid. Man, I'll tell you what. That thing's coming out looking like Gary Busey's gums. All right, thanks for listening. Here's some other videos you guys might have missed, and I will see you in the next one. This is Corrupted Nation. See you guys on Twitter at CorruptedPod.
This is Corrupted Nation with Joe Cronin.
Click on all the other videos that are popping up right now, you bunch of psychos.